Oh boy, Carnival Cruise Line has poked the bear, and I think they poked a little too hard on this one. We need to talk about the internet's response to Carnival Cruise Line potentially violating the sacred oath of privacy in passengers' cabins in the name of curbing fights on the fun ships. Oh, and for those of you saying, I'm a good person, I don't do anything wrong, so why does this matter to me? You're about to find out. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And why do I feel like a few of you are already hovering over the unsubscribe button before we even get started? Just a hunch. I'm going to ask you to take just a quick pause and be open to two sides of a very contentious argument currently being had on the interwebs regarding Carnival Cruise Line's use of drug-sniffing enforcement dogs in passengers' cabins. Now, let me begin by very clearly laying out my thoughts on this. Personally, I have no problem with Carnival asking you to walk past a drug-sniffing dog on your way on board one of their ships, be it on embarkation day or in any port of call. After all, you are getting on board someone else's ship to live there. You are in their care, and they need to be responsible to follow the laws of the places in which they operate. But what I personally won't tolerate is the thought of the cruise line accidentally identifying an innocent person once on board their ship and targeting them with civil, criminal, or other types of punishments, including disembarkation for something they had nothing to do with. So let's set the stage here. Take a look at this video from Miami, where every single passenger who boarded was asked to line up with their back against the wall, place their bags, their belongings on the floor, and to submit to a narcotics dog sniff test, where every single person boarding was searched. Very fair, very quick, very easy. Now, while a lot of people won't like to be lined up against the wall and screened, we're not going to get into that discussion today. That's not part of the scope of this video. The point I'm getting to here is that you as a cruiser, you're 100% in control of your bag, your belongings, your property until the point in time which you get to the cruise port and leave that bag with the porters. So in theory, that is the ideal time to conduct a search that gives very high to full confidence that any contraband found actually belongs to the person being accused of having that contraband, and it's very likely that the individual found with it is truly in the wrong. Where finding contraband becomes a problem, or at least muddies the water and has the potential to take down an innocent person, is in a cabin where dozens or hundreds of other people have stayed or accessed over the past several months. It's my opinion that the only time you can 100% be certain that a person is violating the drug policy is at embarkation or boarding in a port. Beyond that, when you get into your cruise cabin, you have to remember the room attendant that cleans your room, they maybe have a half an hour, if they're lucky, to spend on your cabin, flipping it on embarkation day, cleaning, looking for things in the room that need to be disposed of. Y'all, there are so many nooks and crannies and crevices in cruise ship cabins. Someone could very easily stash something in there that they're not supposed to have and forget it's there and leave the ship, which opens up a whole world of problems for anyone staying in that room later under the current operating procedures of Carnival Cruise Line. And I'm not saying this because I want to be lenient on people breaking the rules or breaking the laws. I'm saying this because coming down overly heavy-handed, it's never a good response to a problem. Look at history. It's always been the wrong response. It's always best take a deep breath, really think about the full implications of what your actions are. And in this case, I believe Carnival Cruise Line, they're doing a massive disservice to their passengers by not fully thinking through the implications of their current random search policy in cruise cabins. As I wrote the script for this episode, I was sitting in a cruise cabin on the Carnival Spirit, and I could literally look around and point out 20 places or more where I could easily hide something and forget about it. I've actually seen social media posts of passengers who hide cruise ducks in their cabins that don't get found for months on end until somebody starts rummaging around in their room. So for those of you who are just saying, well, I don't bring anything that I'm not supposed to, I'm not breaking the rules, why should I care? This is why you should care. Because while you, an upstanding cruiser following the rules like you should be, like hopefully we all are, you have no way to guarantee that the person before you or persons before you were as upstanding of a cruiser as you are. And this leaves you open to a whole new world of problems, up to and including legal charges, disembarkation in a foreign country, $500 fine from the cruise line, even potential arrest. And this, my friends, is a huge problem and a huge disservice to Carnival's customers. And remember, these cruise ships operate out in international waters, so the US government, they ain't riding in on a white horse to save you, despite how many times Taylor Swift sang about white horses.
What?
And you have very few options for litigation if you're falsely accused and have any of the aforementioned consequences happen to you. You know why? International waters. I think we've all watched Cops at some point in life. When they find someone with contraband, that someone always says, "Oh, that's not mine. I don't know how that got there." Do you really think they're going to believe you when you say that to them, even if you know it's true? Heck no, they found something that's not supposed to be there. You're the one in the room. It makes you guilty. End of story. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Give Carnival $500. So what is the real problem on Carnival ships? The elephant in the room that the cruise line won't actually address. I can tell you it's definitely not the fantastic cruise deals on Cruise Essentials in the Midships Amazon store. Link in the description down below if you want to see what I take with me every time I cruise. We all know that Carnival's real problem is not smoking weed. It's definitely not causing the fights on the fun ships. Mary J, while annoying to smell, is not the root cause of the disrespectful behavior occurring on Carnival's cruise ships. But that's not to say that you should just bring it with you and ignore the rules. Now, the actual cause of problems on cruise ships, well, it just so happens to be one of the most profitable things for the cruise lines. Any guesses in the comments? It's booze. If Carnival is actually serious about repairing their reputation, there are a few simple things they could do that won't potentially land their loyal cruise passengers who follow the rules in hot water. They could start by empowering their crew members to cut people off sooner. Maybe it's time to rethink the 15 drink a day limit. Maybe it should be changed to a X amount of drinks per hour limit. And I know this next one, it's going to send some of you into the comment section. They could also crack down on smuggling of alcohol on board ships. Yeah, I get it. That anymore. Look, I am in no way an expert on how to get people to stop fighting, but I've been out downtown on a Friday night enough times to know what causes problems and what doesn't. Here's the key takeaway. These in-cabin searches, well, they ain't gonna fly with most people in the long run, especially once they figure out the risks involved for them. There are ways to fix this problem and show you care for your customers, and this ain't it, Carnival. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I really want to hear from you. I'm gonna be watching the comment section on this video specifically for the next 48 hours. The best comments, well, they're gonna get featured in a follow-up episode I have coming out next week. So if you have something to add, well, shoot your shot. If you made it this far into today's episode, please make sure you get subscribed to the channel, hit that bell notification. Also, don't forget the Midships Minutes are returning now that I'm back on land. That's where I read a news article, provide my commentary, and then you run to the comments and provide yours as well. They're a little quicker than these Midships episodes, and they're designed to be fully factual and educational to you, despite the fact that YouTube keeps demonetizing me for literally reporting on news stories. Yeah, it happened again. It's a rough world out there to be a YouTuber. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. La 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 la.